bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you. Don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to Brooklyn, Michigan in the Irish Hills in the house that Penske built for round number 24 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. The Reaper Apparel 250 here from Michigan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Trapasso, and we're having a little bit of technical difficulty on this end. My normal broadcast partner had a major lightning strike near his place, and it wiped out everything. So, we may have Matt Metler checking in from time to time, but he's not going to be able to be with us for much of tonight's race. We're still waiting for his backup to arrive here at the track. But taking a quick look at the track conditions right now, 9-mile-an-hour winds, those aren't too bad for the Irish Hills. 80-degree ambient air temperature, relatively low barometric pressure, 65% water grain, which means, these engines are going to be struggling a little bit to make some horsepower. And that could help a lot, considering that the track temperature is 111 degrees. In bowling, we call that being in the house. And not in a good way. But at current count, I'm looking at 35 haulers in the infield. And let's take a quick look at the point standings coming into tonight. There we go.
And so when I
didn't want that to happen. So as you can see right now, we've got some interesting things going on near the cut line. Remember, top 16 making it into the playoffs, and there's only a couple weeks left after this, 3 to be exact. Indy, road course, Watkins Glen, road course, and Daytona plate track. And currently, Randy Mullins is on the bubble, and he's only got 5 markers to the good over Ryan Huff. Right there at the cut, Wayne Bowen, Randy Mullins, Ryan Huff, Garrett Crawford, Jamison Middlemiss with a good finish can jump into that fray. And, Chris Spears has been on a charge as of late. So, there's a good possibility that, Chris could make it in. David Belisari's been strong over the last couple of weeks. David's got a little bit to go before he can get there. But if he can string a couple of good finishes together, that final bump spot, as you can see right there with Randy Mullins in 16th, those guys are going to be slugging it out here just tooth and nail over the next few weeks. As we get ready to turn them loose for qualifying, big shocker, who's going to be the first one to roll it? Of course, it is the man in the chrome whip, the 81 of Jeff Carson, the first one to roll it off pit road. Chris Spear also out there. As we are going to bring up these guys. There we go. Chris Spear out of Winston-Salem, North Cackalack. Daryl Klotz out of Columbia, Missouri. And don't hold it against him that he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I will, considering that his Chiefs has basically just owned my Bills over the last handful of seasons. Mr. Excitement, Kenny Capola. Back in the Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry. Wayne Bowen, there he is in his Toyota. Kendall Leveren is bringing up the tower. But Justin Belmonte in the 6th. There he is in the Warrior Wraps Ford Mustang. Let's get back to Jeff Carson. He's going to be one of the first ones to lay down a time here. First lap for Carson, 38.89. Not too shabby. Kyle Holden in the 59 tonight instead of his usual... oh, no, he is in that. I'm thinking in Hunter Carmichael in the 3. There's Hunter. And I'm not digging the matte black and red as much as I was the bright yellow. But hey, to each their own. And I'm not seeing Randy Mullins here. There he is, second quick. The man on the bump. Out of Williams, Iowa. Kendall Leveren jumps up to second quick in the 28. Chris Davis currently sits 6th quick. Randy Mullins back up to second quick. Solid lap for him. Hunter Carmichael currently sitting 14th on his second lap right now, coming through 3 and 4. The RS button boxes, Chevy Camaro. And Carmichael goes up to 9th. Let's take a look at Ryan Huff as he's coming off pit road now in his Toyota. Nick Atwood back with the field tonight. There he is in the 24. Paul Gallimore, first lap for him in the books. 22nd quick, safety lap for the number 11. And I was told somebody gave Nick King a lucky penny prior to qualifying starting here tonight. Hopefully it does the same thing for him that it did for Dale Sr. Back in the day. I believe it was 98 that a Make-A-Wish kid gave Dale a lucky penny and he glued it to the dash. And they ended up winning the Daytona 500. Nick King needs that kind of luck here tonight. It's Gallimore on his second lap goes 8th quick. Solid one. Bobby Justice, 9th quick on his second lap. Let's take a look at King. Somehow negated the first lap. I don't know how. And of course it is. Because why not? Anybody know how to uninstall Microsoft Edge? The damn thing keeps popping up like herpes.
Well, Tony, I can tell you Microsoft Edge is pretty much intertwined into Windows 10 and is built into the mainframe in Windows 11. You can kind of do it, but you really got to dig into the shell to get rid of it.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, great. SDK just vomited.
Sounds like you're having problems like me. Maybe not as bad, but
Well, we had a power surge earlier, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be right back.
Well, I did have.
All right, I think we're back. That is, I think. Let's find out as we go to tonight's starting grid. Shane Davis sets quick time. 38.317, 20,000 over Kenny Capola. Randy Mullins on the bump spot. Going to roll off inside row number 2. Candle 11 is going to start to his outside. Steve Gibson Jr. and Chad Sullivan rolling it from... there we go. Rolling it from row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Jeff Taylor and Chris Davis, Kyle Holden, Aaron Matthews in row 5. Paul Gallimore and Bobby Justice in row number 6. Row 7 is going to give us Nick Atwood and Justin Belmonte. Hunter Carmichael starting deep in this one. He's going to be rolling out next to Tim Wortman Jr. in row number 8. Row 9 is going to go to Darren Mullins. Jordan Schmidt's going to start to his outside. Jeff Carson and Chris Spear making up row number 10. Both those guys need a good finish tonight to secure spots. Warren Young is going to roll off next to the boss man, Barry Sanders Jr., back there in row number 11. Row 12, Wayne Bowen and Ryan Huff. excuse me, row 13 is going to go to Jamison Middlemiss and Darren Mills. Ed Boyles Jr. and Paul Whitley rolling it from row 14. Row 15 is going to see Nick King, who's got the lucky penny tonight. He's going to be rolling off next to David Balisare. Brandon Bikey, who has been strong ever since he's come into the league. He did not lay a time in qualifying. As a matter of fact, Balisare was the last one to lay a time in qualifying. So Bikey and John Binder are going to be lining up via their iRating. And in row number 17, we've got Darren Jacobs and Kyle Klotz. So 34 cars scheduled to roll it here tonight. Just waiting on Chris Davis and Jeff Carson to grid up. They're going to have to hurry. Nope, they are pit starting. Along with, that is everybody. All right then. You're watching the Reefer Apparel 250 here from the house that Penske built as the field starts to roll it. There is your Quick Time Award winner, your Team Watson Racing Setups Quick Time Award winner. Congratulations. And that is Shane Davis. So congratulations to Shane. There's Davis and Coppola, the two teammates that have been just slugging it out between the two of them all season long for most wins on the season. Davis currently leads that little battle. Coppola to his outside. His field worked its way into the 3-4 complex. Oh, baby, it's time to turn these guys loose for 125 laps here at Michigan. Geico Restart Zone in full effect. The only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the burgers off the grill because it's time to get it on in the house that Penske built. Race fans, it's show time! They come into the Geico Restart Zone. Green flag in the air, and we are underway. We've already got some cars shuffling out of line. Davis and Coppola door to door. We've got a complete Noah's Ark situation as everybody's still 2x2x2 through the front half of this field. Paul Gallimore got put in a 3-wide situation as that's Justin Belmonte shooting it up through the gut. Belmonte now alongside of Kyle Holden. No, I'm sorry, that's Tim Wortman Jr. on the outside. These guys are still just picking them up and laying them down early here. Checking out the double deuce of Bobby Justice. As Randy Mullins goes to the outside to try to make something happen. Kendall Levern, though, holding down a strong 4th place. Okay, then. As Coppola is taking over the lead from Shane Davis. Coppola going to show the way, be the fuel pig for a little bit. As the front 10 get single filed out. It's back here with Justin Belmonte and Kyle Holden and Jordan Schmeetz that it starts to get too wide. Schmeetz on the bottom side. Holden on the top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies. Belmonte going to wrestle that one away. From the 5 of Aaron Matthews in front of these guys. This is all right around the last part of the top 10. It's Taylor and Justice going door to door now. That is for 7th and 8th. Justice makes the move stick on Taylor. Taylor now has to worry about Justin Belmonte. Ooh, little sideways action coming off a 2 for the 6. Getting pushed now by Jordan Schmeets. And oh, by the way, if you're keeping score, Nick King up 13 spots. There is that Team Watson Racing Setups Kevin Harvick tribute scheme here tonight. Nick currently has fast lap of the race with a 38.77. Solid lap so far. And by far your biggest mover is he's up to 14, sitting plus 15. Good stuff. Wortman, Taylor, and King just glued together right now. Almost a 3-wide situation. Oh, they're still back in the Noah's Ark configuration, though. Jamison Middleman's having some problems towards the tail end of this field. Looks like he just took a trip through the grass. Not what you want to be doing here at almost 200 miles an hour. If we take a look at the dashboard tonight, yeah, 197 as they haul it off into turn number 3. They're going to be pushing almost 200 when they get to turn 1. Still 197 for these guys towards the back. Steve Gibson. Oh, baby, get skinny. As Gibson makes a move on Mullins there. Now, Mullins has to race safe over the next few weeks. He doesn't have to worry about winning races. He has to worry about finishing well. Currently in the bump spot. That's the storyline that we're going with here. You know, Mullins sitting right there. And I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't want to have that, my neck in that noose for any means. Because I'm going to take a quick look here and, yeah, these guys definitely are going to need some good finishes. Because right there, you've got Darren Mullins, Wayne Bowen, Randy Mullins, Ryan Huff, Garrett Crawford, Jameson Midless, Chris Spear, David Balasari, all right there, grouped right on top of each other. And mathematically, Balasari is... And I take that back. Darren Mullins is actually on the outside of the top 16 looking in, but he's got to win to secure that. So... right now, Randy Mullins is on the outside looking in to Dad. He's really going to need some luck here. As we're still watching this battle between Mullins and Steve Gibson Jr. Jr. on the top side, making that thing eat. Kendall Everin going to throw the block coming off a 2. Looks like there may have been some contact between the two of them. A little toot from the chrome horn by Gibson. Checking back in here just inside the top 10. And it's Justin Belmonte, Bobby Justice going after each other right now. Aaron Matthews right there as well. pretty much throw a blanket over your top 10, as Matthews has the final spot in it. Tim Wortman falling off by about half a second. He's got about a half a second clear of Nick King behind him. And for those of you keeping score, Nick King currently sitting plus 17, tied with Brandon Bikey, who's got the Hulkamania number 1 rolling in 14th spot back there. There he is for Team Watson. Working on Warren Young right now. Behind him, that's kind of Holden and Wayne Bowen going after each other. Darren Mullins also trying to work his way forward a little bit. Randy Mullins now under attack from Chad Sullivan in the 21. Sullivan's been very strong over the last few weeks. Jordan Schmitz, Justin Belmonte, all right there. Sullivan gets hung out to dry coming down the 3M back straightaway. Check in with the weather conditions, track temperature continuing to go down. That's the good news and the bad news. The more grip this track's going to get, the tighter these cars are going to get. So good luck making the right call on chassis adjustments as this race wears on. Checking up back in the top 10, Aaron Matthews and Bobby Justice door to door. Matthews with the advantage. Justice getting pushed by Wortman, but Aaron Matthews drops down in front of him to throw the block going into 3. Here comes Wortman on Justice now to wrestle the top 10 away from him.
Yeah, Tony, this all going inside, as you said, just inside the top 10. This is where the Hornets' nest has been, I believe, since the drop of the green flag. Everyone's still trying to catch Mr. Excitement as he's trying to pull away by himself. But Shane P. Davis leading the train in second as they're starting to reel Kenny Capola back in. Remember, this track, while it's not Talladega or Daytona, it races an awful lot like a plate track. That draft ever so critical. These 3 just behind Kenny Capola should be able to close back in, or you would think.
As we are just past the halfway mark in stage 1, stage caution will fly on lap number 30. As we're taking a look at that final spot in the top 10, is Wortman and Justice have just been going after each other. As Nick King now has to deal with Brandon Bikey. Your 2 biggest movers running stem to stern right now, and all they got to do is work together, and I guarantee you they can get to the front if they try. Checking back up here towards the front of the field. That's Levering on the low side, Gibson on the top shelf.
Yeah, side by side, door to door. 28, Kendall LeBron's going to throw it in there hard on the bottom, eating good in the neighborhood. He's able to clear as they're side by side. There's Schmitz behind him in tow. What a run by Schmitz. Oh, Belmonte gets a piece of the wall. That's going to hamper his momentum just a little bit. You can see him fall off the back of the 43 of Gibson just a little bit.
That's the second time tonight that Belmonte has pushed the envelope just a tick too far. I believe there's a 1960s song that probably sums it up best. One toe over the line. But
or you'd go Top Gun Danger Zone.
No, true story. Oh, that didn't take long.
That's gonna go over like a fart in church.
You ever done that? Those are loud.
I know someone that knows someone that's done it.
Guilty.
I believe minimal damage, though, Tony, on Gibson's Toyota there.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at what did happen to Steve. As we are going to take a look at the eye in the sky picked up. Belmonte just almost, yep. Yep.
Gibson like had some help from the 6.
Gibson had the line. Belmonte should have backed off. And Gibson's around.
And folks, remember, I am bare bones here. I have no SRM instant replay timing and scoring. And I'm trying to navigate my own cameras here and stay with Tony on the action. But it looked like in real time he had a little bit of help from the 6.
He did. He absolutely did. Let's watch that again from the eye in the sky here.
Well, to pit or not to pit, that is the question, and it looks like the consensus, Tony, is to pit.
I would.
I agree.
I mean, you're deep enough into this tire and fuel run that, you know, why not? You would almost be crazy not to. However, your top 6 deciding to stay out. Kendall Leveren's fuel only. Brandon Bikey took 2. Schmeets took fuel. Boyles took fuel. Everybody else 4 in fuel.
It looked like Hulkamania got off pit road rather quick versus the competition.
Yeah, he only took 2. Jordan Schmeets took fuel only. And he just gave himself just enough to get to the stage caution. Only maybe a couple of gallons in the 41.
Yeah, when you know those stage cautions are coming, you can really use that in the strategy playbook. Because you just got to make it to that caution, because then that whole field is going to reset once again. You're absolutely right, Tony.
And we've got a big jumble up here. As oh, we're not live, that's why. Now we're live. Wortman electing to stay out, gonna have the button on this restart. And look who's to his outside. The man with the lucky penny on the dash tonight, Nick King.
Maybe that's all it took. Little copper inside that race car like the Intimidator back in the day.
That's what I'm saying. It worked for Earnhardt Sr. Why not?
Maybe that'll retract the bad voodoo medicine man that has plagued that 4 all season long. Seems to be working so far. He's just going to line up out on that outside front row with Tim Wortman Jr. in the 83. Barry Sanders right there as well, that 88 moving forward.
Well, he also stayed out, as did Jamison Middlemiss. So you got some of your biggest movers at the front of this field. I mean, they've got to gamble. Why not? King, though, in second place, or on the outside front row, is restarting plus 27. Good grief. That's moving through a field.
Yeah, that's going places for sure. You're not wrong. Let's see if these guys can get it right on the old shoes on this restart. Pretty easy to spin them with 20 laps on the tires.
Wortman rolled into it.
Wortman rolled into it. I think Nick slipped just a little bit, but that's going to allow Barry Sanders to come right up on the bumper of that Mustang. and thrust Nick King forward coming through the turns 1 and 2 complex. He's going to clear the 78 on the high side. And just as I say that, look at the move by Shane P. Davis. As King plastered all over the back of Wortman Jr.
King all over the back of Wortman as Davis on 4 fresh shoes trying to make something happen. He's already gained a couple of spots from the restart. Sanders brings it way down to the low side, making a bid for second place. Now looking to get a twofer as they go into turn number 1. He's side by side with Wortman. Little junior on junior action here.
What a move by Barry Sanders. He cranked that wheel. He took it down to the bottom. And just like that, able to get the lead with a powerhouse move. But Tony, fresh tires right behind him, and here comes Shane P. Davis lurking.
Davis working the low shelf. Sanders on the top side. King and Wortman right behind him as King gets by Wortman finally. 3 wide for 5th.
It's a full-blown traffic jam, as Tony said, around that 5th place position. In the eye of the storm, Mr. Excitement, Kenny Capola. They're still 3 wide. Hulkamania, the 28. Oh, there it goes. Piling up like fresh sausage going into a casing.
Unbelievable. You knew it was only a matter of time. I mean, you really did when those guys were running 3 wide like that. Now keep your eye on the 28. He gets sideways. That checks up everybody behind him. And then all hell breaks loose. Belmonte with a little Bluetooth front suspension on that one. Good grief. Let's take a look from Kyle Holden here. It's Holden in the 59. It's going to pop off in front of him. And as much as I hate to say this in the way it's going to sound, because it sounds bad in my head, well, let's see if it did happen that way as soon as I can find it.
Comes up and fist bumps Barry Sanders under caution.
Well, let's take a look at what happened with the eye in the sky. You see Capola working on the 1 right now. The 1's in a 3 wide situation. He really has nowhere to go. He checks up for this 28 that got loose, and Capola just couldn't get off the gas in time. And around goes everybody. Bad Chad Sullivan getting involved in that one too. Derek Jacobs, Chad Sullivan, Kyle Holden, Aaron Matthews, Jameson Middleman, Ed Boyles, Brandon Bikey, Kenny Capola, and Justin Belmonte, all involved in that one. That is definitely no bueno for a couple of those guys.
Do not pass go, do not collect $200. A lot of big names in the series all had a role in that caution sequence. Unfortunately, funny how it works sometimes, Tony, but yet you look at the 28 of LeBron, I believe it all started with him when he got loose, and yet he sits there in 3rd.
He didn't hit anything. He just got loose, and everybody stacked up behind him.
Bingo. Often it's not where it starts, it's where it finishes, or as you like to say, the bomb explodes.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron may have lit the fuse, but it definitely didn't go boom around him. It went boom behind him, right where that massive hornet's nest was.
Was that like the Red Tortoise Show?
Bingo. Mario Kart, if I remember correctly.
Yes, sir. Lights are out on the pace car as Shane Davis, Barry Sanders, Nick King, Kendall Leverin, and Tim Wortman Jr. are going to round out your top 5 as we get ready to turn them back loose. Wayne Bowen right there as well on the outside of Wortman.
Everyone re-racked, restacked once again. Barry Sanders on that front row, but Shane P. Davis has the button and the fresher shoes of the bunch. Let's see what Barry Sanders has dialed up for him on the restart here. Let's see if he can hang.
Probably not, considering Sanders is on some old tires. It's going to be basically a 2-lap shootout, a green-white checker for the green and white checker.
Yeah, Barry just needs to reach up there, hit all the switches on those button boxes, and send it to full afterburner, and go get a stage win. Love to see it.
Grip.mode.hat.exe.
Barry Sanders gets a hell of a push there from LeBron. As Shane P. Davis shoots out of a cannon on the restart. That's going to allow the top 2 to clear, top 3 to clear, but here comes Nick King, Mr. Lucky Money, right behind LeBron. Now King closing on the back of the 28.
King's got to be thinking big picture, and so does Randy Mullins back there in 6th. He's got to think big picture. He just needs points, good points. He doesn't have to win.
Right. You hit the nail on the head, Tony. He just needs a solid finish here in the stage. He doesn't have to win the stage. Numbers don't lie, and you're 100% right.
You know, I need to pay attention more because both Bowen and Mullins have wins on the season. It's basically Jordan Schmitz and Darren Mullins that are in the hot seat right now.
Yeah, they're in the pressure cooker. Is caution out on the racetrack. That'll complete stage 1. Shane P. Davis, stage 1 winner. Barry Sanders, Kendall LeBron, Jordan Schmitz, Nick King, a.k.a. Lucky Money, Warren Young, Wayne Bowen, Ryan Huff, Paul Gallimore, and Randy Mullins round out your top 10.
And with that, we're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this. We are back at the house that Penske built. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Wednesday evening as you are watching the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. The Reaper Apparel 250 here from Michigan International Speedway. Shane Davis winning the first stage. As the lights have gone out on the pace car, we're not going to get a chance to talk to our stage winner. And how about this? Randy Mullins and Darren Mullins starting side by side here on the restart in 5th and 6th. Little father on son action head to head. And oh, by the way, if you're keeping score, the 33 of John Binder back there in 9th, sitting plus 23. Go Sundrop. Well, that's going to make a certain young lady pretty happy. As we get ready to fire them back off, Davis with the button. Your top 16 all staying out. Steve Gibson, the first one to have come down pit road, took fuel only. Pace car is in. Here we go. Davis has the button. Into the Geico restart zone we go. Davis jumps on it. And we are back underway as Warren Young trying to make a bid on Jordan Schmeets. Schmeets hanging up on the high side. As Gallimore now dealing with Warren Young to his inside. Going into turn number 1, still side by side. Gallimore making a bid for 3rd. Young hanging tough though. Chevy on Chevy action there for the final step of the podium as Darren Mullins gets a good restart. Gets out in front of Nick Atwood. So now we're getting a little more single file now. Just racing at the front and getting a little intense. And Schmeets now going after each other, making a bid on Davis. Almost 3 wide, coming through 3. Now Randy Mullins pulls alongside of Dad Darren. And this track is a complete Waffle House situation, folks. For those of you wondering what I'm talking about, take a look. You've got cars scattered, smothered, and covering the entire width of the track coming through the corners. What do you say we turn it up? Don't blink, you'll miss it. Warren Young makes a bid for the lead on the top side. He's had some help from Gallimore. Goes way up the racetrack, trying to carry as much speed as he can through the first turn. And just like that, Warren Young, your new race leader in the 8. Schmeets and Gallimore going door to door again for that final step of the podium. Schmeets on the low side, Gallimore on the top side. And they are 3 wide behind him. Oh, baby. Hang on to her. That is Darren Mullins on the low side. Bobby Justice on the top side. I'm sorry, that was Justice that was caught in the middle. As the 24 of Atwood continues to backslide. Binder down on the low side, tried to work his way around. For the first time tonight, here comes Ed Boyle Jr. The highest we've seen the Tide ride all night. As he is now going door to door with John Binder. That is for the final step of the top 10. And here comes Steve Gibson Jr. as well. Matt, I don't know if you're still watching this, but this has bad intentions written all over it. Place your bets, folks. Next stage caution going to happen on lap 60. 6-0.
Yeah, 6-0 on the stage caution, working lap 42 right now. Looks like Shane P. Davis, your current leader. Uh-oh, we got more carnage.
Told-so.
I heard something about placing your bets, and then kaboom.
Yep. Told-so.
Well, someone pulled out the lawnmower at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The sound of it was the double mulching deck.
Probably. Let's come back and take a look at what happened. Is Atwood. I could feel this one coming about a lap earlier.
Phil Collins coming on, huh?
Yeah. You know, you've been doing this long enough, you know when it's going to happen. Oh, brother. That kind of started with the 300 Carmichael getting into Nick Atwood, and then all hell broke loose behind him. Barry Sanders Jr., Randy Mullins, Darren Mills, Jameson Middlemiss, Nick Atwood, all catching a piece of that.
Ooh, a couple of the bad boy cars getting caught up in that. Barry Sanders was having a good run here early. Not sure how bad the damage is to those drivers, but I can hear the sound from up in the nosebleeds.
Oh, yeah. There you see they're 3 wide there, so there is no escape. Oh.
And while Tony's bringing you through that replay, I can let you know pit road's a hot commodity again. Shane P. Davis, all the leaders seem to be coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep your eye on the 22 and the 3. As it's going to start to pop off between them. Oh, it's a 23 and Jared Mull. No, that was Randy. Oh, no, that is not what Randy needed. Oh, wait, he's already got a win on the season. Never mind. I'm talking out my backside. But yeah, watch this again. And you're going to see Carmichael get a run going in. As Randy's got his dad to his inside. Here comes Hunter. And Hunter just loses the front end. Up into him he goes. The 31 catches a piece. Oh, shapers. Let's watch again what happened to the boss man. There is the 88, the RS button boxes, Chevy Camaro. And it's going to pop off in front of these guys. Sanders sees the smoke. He checks up. And
Oh
the 30,
my
it was
God.
the 31 bouncing off the wall that hip checked the 2 into him. And
I
then
just caught a glimpse of that off the YouTube
And then-
replay. Oh my
yeah.
God.
yeah, I mean, it was just they were running so close for so long. You knew it was coming, folks.
Yeah, kind of like that first caution we felt it brewing, and it happened right after that, Tony.
Absolutely.
Take a look who's at the point.
That would be
John Binder in that Sundrop Chevrolet.
does he have it or does Darren Mullins have the button?
Mullins has it, but Binder on the front row with him, currently being scored in P2.
Plus 30 spots for Binder. Nick King right behind him with the lucky penny tonight, plus 26. Paul Whitley in the 74, going to start to the outside. Now, mind you, he is a teammate with both the Mullins boys. But Darren Mullins, plus 16, leading this piece. Now, they did stay out. Nick King did come down for 4 in fuel. Oh, no, that was back on lap 32 for the stage. As a matter of fact, your top 12 stayed out. Warren Young in the 8 is your freshest set of tires.
Yeah, that's absolutely right there, Tony. Those lights go out on the pace car. Got that field re-racked, restacked here one more time. Want to thank everyone for joining us here live on SRM as that pace car goes to duck off. That's going to give the button to the driver of the number 64, Darren Mullins. We wait for that restart zone. We push the pedal through the floorboard. Back to green flag racing here from Michigan. The Irish Hills, the house that Penske built. Side by side, there's King and Binder going after it after he went on a bender all the way to the front of the field. They still don't have it sorted going through the 1 and 2 complex. King pokes a nose ahead, but he gets loose off the binder. Or off the bottom, Binder back on the top. They're still side by side.
Oh, Jesus.
That didn't sound good.
No, the 99 just annihilated himself. See if we can figure out what happened here.
There's the caution flag.
3 wide behind him.
Never a good thing.
Oh, okay. That's what happened. Shane Davis just played any which way but loose with him. Let's watch this from the eye in the sky as the iRacing blimp giving us some great pictures here tonight. Keep your eye on the 79 and the 99. And Davis just went up into him. Get to the chopper.
Davis pulled out the old spackler, huh?
Watch the seam in the track. You're not going to see the 99 come very far off. And it was just a meeting of the minds. He came down just a tick, but Shane Davis went up into him. Not what you would expect out of your points leader.
No, certainly not. Sounds like a rare mistake by Shane P. Davis, or perhaps Dirty Air had something to do with that, Tony, as I'm trying to paint a picture of this as you're doing such a great job explaining to the audience what happened there that caused this caution flag.
And I think John Binder is texting while driving. As Cindy Edwards says, go Sundrop. Bad Racer said, that's me. John, you got enough problems with the drivers you're running around. You might want to keep both hands solidly on that wheel, brother.
He can multitask with the best of them, Tony. Clearly.
I love the fact that a buddy of mine from Minnesota was taking a road trip with his daughter the other day. And she's driving. And all of a sudden you see her look down at her palm. And you can tell she's got her phone in her hand. And she's texting while driving and singing with her father in the car.
No,
And he
no.
posted this on social media. Like, dude, are you trying to get her license taken away from her?
Right. Could you try any harder?
Said who it was, where they were going, and all they got to do is just trace a GPS map from your house to where you were going, and every jurisdiction can write you a ticket.
Could you imagine just getting flooded with tickets in the mailbox?
From like 8 different states.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, okay. You know you
so-
screwed up when.
Yep.
Hi, Paul.
The moment you realize the light bulb goes off.
I don't think he realized it. I had soda come out my nose when I first saw it. I'm like, oh my God. Oh. Hi, Paul. Hi, Brittany.
Now we have 27 cars left on the lead lap. That last car, the HMFIC of the league. Barry Sanders in the 88 being shown in that 27th place position.
And that car doesn't look too much the worse for wear. A little bit of crinkle in the left front fender, but other than that.
Yeah, I'm sure these cautions have helped to make some repairs to that ZL1 Camaro.
If you take a look, Randy Mullen's about to get back on the lead lap as well, as he's currently sitting 1 lap down in 28th.
You know, I see Ram all over the front of that Chevrolet as we hit the Geico restart zone. And Tony, if you can't dodge it, ram it as he kicks it back to the point. Nick King, lucky money up to P2. Binder slips back to third. The first 3 cars in the train, all single file. It gets interesting for that 4th place position as you got the... Wait a minute. I have a problem here. I can't tell you who that is right now, but I can tell you
Kyle Holden.
Thank you, Tony.
And it's Bikey and Paul Whitley going door to door. Whitley is the other one from that Ram team. But you're right. Hulkamania is running wild. They get back in the top 5 again.
You know, when you strip all the goodies off your screens when you're broadcasting, you realize just how many cars sometimes are showing numbers that they aren't showing in iRacing.
Yeah, true story. Jeff Taylor in the 23 making it happen. He's following Pikey through. Holden continuing to backslide here. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hang on.
Yeah, like you said, Holden's
Oh,
holding
bid
on
for the
right now,
lead.
literally.
It's lucky penny time.
Oh, he tried.
No, he had it.
Here.
He had it at the stripe. Nick King had that at the stripe. He's going to throw the block. Oh,
Whoa.
no. Now we're 3 wide for the lead.
Here comes Binder on the inside of King now. He's got a heck of a run. He's going to take it all the way downstairs, get in the basement like the Bud Light commercial back when the Broncos were in the Super Bowl. Here comes the 59 3 wide. Hulkamania on the top, the 59 to the flat.
Bender wisely backed out of that one. He wanted no part of the 3 wide, but now he's stuck in a 3 wide again.
Here comes King closing back in. He's got help from the 1. They're going to bump draft down the backstretch here. Still don't have quite enough to get on the back of the 64, but a great 3 and 4 for the 4 of Nick King here is going to put him right on the back door of that Camaro. As they go through the Geico restart zone, start-finish line, everyone still chasing the 64 of Darren Mullins. But Nick King and company right there to strike should he make a mistake.
And you got two of those beast mode cars running stem to stern right now in the form of Chris Davis and Shane Davis. The Davis boys. Oh, Shane, hang on to her.
Shane Davis, I thought he was about to get sent again.
He almost did. King making another bid for the lead. He's got the nose out front, coming through 3 and 4. King on the bottom side. Mullins on the top shelf.
Slide job.
The slide job is right. That killed all of Mullins' momentum. He's going to have to get back in line. And just like that, Mr. Lucky Penny himself, Nick King to the front. Plus 28. Tied with Brandon Bikey, who runs in third.
Tell you what, that Penny has seemed to have solved all of Nick King's problems. He hasn't been in a wreck, check. He's been competitive, ultra competitive, check. And he is at the point carrying the torch at the house that Penske built, check. Nick King, everyone trying to catch that Ford Mustang right now. But look at Bikey. He's really been on the move here, Tony, in recent laps. It's almost like he hit the go-go button. Look at him pushing all over the back of Mullins, and the 29's going to send it down the hill. Shane P. Davis working with him on the bottom.
And it's kismet tonight because the Stuart Haas program, I mean, that's a Kevin Harvick tribute scheme. They run Penske horsepower under the hood.
That's a great point, Tony.
And we're at the house that Penske built. It's kismet. As now King starts to pull a gap on Mullins, as Mullins has his rearview mirror filled right now. As a matter of fact, this is the view from behind. Yeah, Bikey Mania there, and both Shane and Chris Davis running door to door. I really wouldn't want to be Darren Mullins right now.
Oh, someone almost got shot out of the cannon. Somebody in the wall as well. I can hear the scraping.
I hear it too. I just don't see who's off pace yet.
I believe that may have been the 8 of Warren Young in 11th right now.
Okay. Yes, here we go. Davis on Bikey for third. Davis.
Shane not happy with third. He wants second as he goes after Mullins now as they go door to door. Side by side, does Shane Davis have the help? He does. He's going to bring the 29 and Hulkamania with him on the bottom. Hulkamania then bails, goes back to the middle. Is it going to be enough for Shane to make the pass?
No, not yet. He is going to get into second, but he's not going to get the third or get the first. It's now Chris and Shane running stem to stern right now on the bottom side. And Nick King's got to be careful.
Yeah, Nick King's got to be really careful here. He sees that there's cars charging hard behind him. Oh, someone just stayed it.
And that's going to be the stage. Bobby Justice. What'd you do, bud? You blowed it up. Let's take a look at what happened to the Double Deuce.
It sounded like that car just exploded.
It probably did. 3 wide. And loses the front. Gets up into the 43. The 43 to... Oh! Driver's door first.
Oh, I knew it was bad.
There's our first, thank God this is a simulator moment of the night.
Tony, it was just out of my camera frame, and I seen it start. I couldn't watch it finish, but when I heard the impact, I knew it wasn't good.
Oh my goodness.
Those driver's side door impacts are never good.
Yeah, and I think the static cam here got the crash. Oh, yes, it did. Oh. Oh, my God. Thank God this is a video game.
Getting a report from trackside, it's still raining car pieces from that explosion when that vehicle hit the outside retaining wall.
Probably is. As a matter of fact, let's go on board As we're in cockpit with Justice now, watch this. It may not have seemed bad from inside, but I can tell you right now that that's about a 4G stop. And concussions happen only at 2Gs.
I think you said it best, Tony. Thank God this is a simulation.
Absolutely. That was a hard hit. To quote Benny Parsons. I know I shouldn't be laughing, folks, but you had to have been there.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, and it was my first race in the Cup Series, and I'm standing in the Weber Grill hospitality area because they feed the crews. And Benny Parsons is standing in front of me in line. And ARCA qualifying is going on. All of a sudden you hear, screech, thud. He turns around, looks down at me, he goes, that was a hard hit. I'm thinking to myself, no shit, Sherlock. You are the John Madden of NASCAR. To win a football game, what you got to do is you got to get the football in the end zone more times than the other team. Thanks, John, as I'm chugging vodka. No wonder Pat Summerall's liver is pickled.
Was that your first experience with Benny Parsons?
That was my first experience ever in a Cup garage.
Well,
and yes, it was my first time meeting Benny Parsons. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, you are the John Madden of NASCAR, dude.
Well, he certainly was a giant like John Madden, that's for certain.
I rest my case. Yeah, when I say he turned around to look down at me, I came up to the man's, shoulder. Like, the top of my head was at his shoulder. And I'm 5'10".
I often wonder how they packed him in a race car, but they made it work because he drove his tail off.
Mm-hmm. Him, Sterling Marlin, Mikey, Daryl, they're all north of 6 foot. And, it was so funny to see Daryl Waltrip Daryl and Mikey standing next to Mark Martin. Because Mark's like 5'7" on a good day.
And here we go again.
So that was the stage. Nick King was your stage winner. Oh, man. So bonus points for King. Everybody taking 4 in fuel that time. Nobody wanting to gamble as we are just about at the halfway mark. As a matter of fact, we're going to hit the halfway mark on the back straight. Actually, we just hit the halfway mark. King, Davis, Bikey, Holden, Mullins, Taylor, Gallimore, Schmeets, Huff, and Spear, your top 10. There's Gallimore and Taylor going after each other. Make that Schmeets. Taylor caught on the bottom side. That is not going to be really where he wants to be, but you can make it work on new tires. Chris Davis. No, that's not Chris Davis. Who is that? It's Kyle Holden, sorry. Who's making a move on Darren Mullins. Mullins is having a good run here tonight as well. Don't discount what Darren's been able to do. Go fast, turn left, repeat as needed. Holden still caught on that low side. Zero drafting help from 59 right now. They're almost 3 wide behind them. Good gravy. Bikey looking to the inside on Davis, thinks better of it. Knows he's not close enough. Mr. Lucky Penny himself, Nick King, plus 28 in first. Brandon Bikey in third at plus 28. Darren Mullins plus 13 in fourth. Who says you can't pass at Michigan? Ah, crap. Chad Sullivan with more issues. Oh my goodness. Barry Sanders involved in that one. Tim Wortman Jr. involved in that one. Aaron Matthews. Derek Jacobs. Let's take a look at what happened here. There you see the 21 of Sullivan looking to the inside of, I believe that's the 78. Yes, it is. That's Wayne Bowen. Oh, baby. Let's watch that again. Something's going to happen with the 5. Oh, the 8 just comes down, hip checks the 5, and all heck breaks loose here. How did he do that? Holy crap. We're going to watch that again, folks. And we're going to watch that from the roof cam. This is John Binder's view. Watch this. It pops off in front of him right there. He's on the brakes. He's steering, he's driving, and misses everything. And nobody ran him over from behind. John Binder currently sitting in 16th place, plus 16 in the 33. Keep your eye on the 5 here because he is going to take a shot. $27, not so lucky. Sanders that took those couple of shots. Him and Wortman, that was a hard hit too. Oh my goodness.
Sanders get caught in more shenanigans?
Yes, he did. However, I do want to go back to that. We're going to take a look at Jeff Carson here at the moment the caution came out. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to there. Watch this. We're on board with Carson, and it's going to happen right in front of him. Watch. That is a Code Brown moment if there ever was one. By maybe an inch. Another coat of paint, he probably wouldn't have been involved in that one, but heads up driving by Jeff Carson. He was off the gas, he was on the brakes, and he was steering that thing to save his life. Carson currently sitting in 14th, still on the lead lap. There is the man from Scottsburg, Indiana, Mr. Lucky Penny himself, Nick King. Could tonight be the night?
It worked for the Intimidator, Tony.
It absolutely did. And with any luck, it'll work for the guy that is a fan of the guy that took over for the Intimidator.
Well, I'm pulling for Lucky Money in the 4 right as he takes him back to green as I'm back with you here up in the broadcast booth. Shane P. Davis waits no time. I believe that's him in the 79 as I'm still waiting for paint to load. Thank you, Tony. First 2 cars break away. The Hornet's Nest builds just off the back of Shane P. Davis.
It does at that as Gallimore almost gets into the 59 on Holden. But, the car is gold. Might just as well, get the top step of the podium here tonight. Bring home the big trophy. Now, the good news for King is he's safely in on points because of the good finishes he had at the start of the season. I said currently. That doesn't mean he can take his foot off the gas and coast it. Davis into the wall again. King had to take evasive action. Luckily, Gallimore let him in. King going to send it down into turn number 3 on the low side. Look for the slide job coming off the corner as Gallimore now tries to go door to door with Davis as well. Davis might have knocked the toe out of the 79.
He very well could have, Tony. As if you look at how he hit, it's very possible. Only way to tell is if you go on board, but I'm with you. That's a strong possibility.
Well, let's do that because we were able to get a GoPro on his helmet as we are on board with Shane Davis. And yes, he is right hand down right now. That orange stripe on the steering wheel, it's not at 12 o'clock like it should be. Coming through a left-hand corner, he's got it turned to about 1 o'clock. Coming through the tri-oval. The toe is completely knocked out of that. And he is hemorrhaging spots.
He's going to have to learn how to recenter the wheel on that car quick, fast, and in a hurry and see if he can adapt on the fly here. More real-time drama for Shane P. Davis as he's going to have to figure out kind of how to drive that car all over again. He's doing a good job, though. He's still holding on to it, but not the car he had a few moments ago, that's for sure, Tony.
Oh, absolutely not. It's now Gallimore pushing King along. I know they are friends, but all's fair in love and racing. He's kind of holding all over Gallimore now. And here comes Darren Mullins on the bottom side. Where did he come from again? Solid run out of the 64 tonight. Currently sits plus 13. Brandon Vikey and the Hulkamania Viper back there.
Yes, I'm still trying to get Trading Paints back in the game here.
Still think thunderstorms are cool? It was sarcasm, Matt.
I know, Tony. Don't get me wrong.
These are the jokes. Stick with me.
Thank you, Tony.
We are closing in on 50 to go in this one. We still have not seen the money stop yet. There's only a couple of drivers that I'm worried about, although everybody did have 6 total sets. I don't know if everybody still has one more set to put on. There's quite a few drivers that have been down pit road 6 times already.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Tony. There's only one way to find out, and that's when we get there.
And I dare say we're about 15 laps or so away from the money stop, when we're going to start seeing green flag pit stops anyways. Because then you're going to be within you can make it from here territory, as we are officially 50 to go right now. So another 20 laps, 15 to 20 laps. Yeah. Got to give yourself enough time to use the fresh tires. Gallimore makes a bid for the lead. Coming down the 3M back straightaway, door to door with Nick King. No help for Gallimore. He's going to squeeze up in front of Darren Mullins. Luckily, Mullins had it spotted and let him in. Here
Look at
comes Gallimore. Leaning on King.
Gallimore's galloping towards the front, leaning on King. They're still side by side. Nick King gets him by an edge. Gallimore going to take it all the way downstairs, try to break the side draft. And look at Nick King surge back to the lead with some help from Darren Mullins. But Gallimore going for broke here as he's still fighting hard. And he's got Hulkamania right on his back door. Oh, they're still leaning on each other.
Gallimore and Mullins traded more paint than a 3M or the PPG factory just up the road. They're in just the last two corners. They're still leaning on each other. This is a crash waiting to happen, folks. The only good thing is Nick King's out in front of it, so he won't be affected.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Crunchwrap Supreme from Taco Bell either.
Nope.
It does sound kind of good right about now, though.
We're talking about blackjack. Everybody lose.
Nick King continues to lead as we get ever so closer to that ever-important
gotta
stop.
be kidding me. John Bender, you're incorrigible. In the live chat, the 33 just texted, the wheels on the bus go round and round.
No, John, that's not it. We know you can do it. Okay, we see.
Show off. Gallimore and Schmeets now going door to door. Ford on the bottom side, Chevy on the top shelf. How strong is that Penske Ford? I'm sorry, that's, well, in the real world, that would be the teammate to Nick King. That's another Stuart Haas Ford in the 41. How strong is that car tonight?
Well, he keeps coming towards the front slowly but surely as he's going off toe-to-toe with Bikey right now. Still side by side, all-out warfare here.
How about Chris Spear? Solid run for the 7, sitting plus 13.
Yeah, Chris Spear having a heck of a run. You're absolutely right, Tony. As he's throwing his hat into the ring. And look at how tight that 3-car freight train was there for a moment.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you tell the laps are counting down?
Why am I hearing Phil Collins again? Exactly. And if you're ever riding in a car with me and that song comes on and you don't play air drums, I'm dropping you off. I don't care where we are. I'm dropping you off the side of the road wherever the hell we are.
That's like a given. That's a must.
Whoever is shotgun in my car has to play air drums for that part.
I mean, if Mike Tyson can do it, you can do it.
I never would have pegged Tyson.
Except he connected in the movie.
Yeah. But they interviewed him shortly after that. He said he loves the song. So
look at Gallimore here still hanging tough, right behind Schmeets. You know, Bikey really hasn't, I think, set that Hulkamania Viper to dominate yet. I think he's keeping a little in reserve right now.
Yeah, Bikey Mania has not run completely wild yet.
I don't think so. I think we have more to see out of the one.
And I'm 99% certain you're right.
Lap traffic now coming into the picture.
Getting up and out of the
Is it
way
too-
like they should. Hats off to you,
Atwood
sir.
Atwood doing a great job staying high and out of the way. And I think he just blinked out.
Oh,
There
yeah.
he's back in.
Probably scaring the hell out of Brandon Vikey as he was right behind him when he did it. I believe that's the 27 of Derek Jacobs.
Indeed it is.
And once
Is
again, we're in a Waffle House situation. Oh! There it goes. And look who it is. Chris Spear, and he didn't hit anything.
What a save by Chris Spear.
Did not hit anything, just got shuffled.
Well, he got shuffled all right.
This slugfest at the front of this piece is just starting to get a little bit wild and a little more rowdy.
Gonna have to shuffle a couple Tide Pods into his laundry after that one.
True story. Coming up on 40 to go. We are almost at you can make it from here territory. I'm expecting these guys to come down right around 90 to 95.
So Tony's predicting about 10 laps from now as we're working lap 85. Lucky Money, the Lincoln man. I believe Lincoln's on the penny, correct?
Correct.
Nick King, he's got the bling here in Michigan so far. The penny that revolutionized perhaps his Moonshiners Racing series, as this season has been treacherous even though he has had speed at times. But today, the fog is lifted, the storm clouds have cleared as bright sunny skies rain down on the four of Nick King as he continues to carry the torch here at Michigan. God, I'm pulling for that 4-car.
It makes two of us, sir. I know we're not supposed to play favorites, but I would
I know we're
love
not,
nothing
but-
more than to see Nick King get into victory lane finally. He's had the
You know
strong
what?
runs all season, and the lucky penny is
Exactly.
going to turn his luck around. And taking a quick look at the weather conditions, ambient air temperature has gone down 2 degrees. Track temperature has fallen 13 since we started. Which means these cars are handling completely differently than they did when the green flag first dropped.
You know, while all of that has gone down, the urgency has clearly gone up on the racetrack, Tony. You know, we see double file racing starting to pick back up again. Now working lap 88 as we approach even closer this final round of pit stops, aka the money stop. Nick King really starting to give himself some, breathing room now over Kendall LeVron, Kyle Holden, as they're side by side. You know, all that side drafting they're doing on each other is going to slow them down. That may allow Nick King to escape just a little bit more. Now, is LeVron going to take it to the top side? Kyle Holden to the bottom.
A little bit of slide job coming off of 2 for Holden. He's going to get in front of LeVron. As LeVron now has to deal with the 64 of Darren Mullins. Brandon Bikey back there as well, still holding on to a top 5. Nick King, Kyle Holden, Kendall LeVron, Darren Mullins, Brandon Bikey, Paul Gallimore, Shane Davis, Jordan Schmeat, Warren Young, and Chris Davis, rounding out your top 10 so far. And over half of your top 10 is sitting plus double digits.
That is just insane, Tony. And that tells me these are the cars that avoided being caught in the calamity corner in all the extracurricular activities out there on the racetrack. Whoa, look at the drive into the corner by LeVron.
Bikey sideways, Mullins into the wall, into Gallimore. Gallimore goes down the track. And here comes Shane Davis on the bottom.
That changed quick, fast, and in a hurry. That all started when LeVron just bombed it in there like D-Day.
Yeah, the only problem is he was not where he needed to be, and all hell was starting to break loose. Luckily, everybody kept their wits about him. Top 5 now in a single file formation. Got about 3/10 of a second back. As Darren Mullins now in a 3-wide situation with Davis and Young. Oh, Davis sideways.
Whoa!
How did he save that?
Tony, I don't know. But I can tell you what, the radio chatter is starting to get awful spicy. Patience wearing down.
Oh, there it is.
Goes. Big time calamity.
Schmeets is over.
He rail slides it like Tony Hawk on the lid.
Inverted rail slide. Holy Christmas.
Jeff Taylor caught in it. Uh-oh. I can feel it. In the radio chat is, right now is an opportunity for me. The silver lining with my bandwidth problems, I can really listen to the driver communications.
Right.
And it started to pop off on the radio, and that carried right over to the action on the racetrack. As Schmeets went inverted.
Oh, Carson got into it.
No. Not Jeff Carson.
Yep.
All right, Nick King. We're going to really see if this curse is broken. Because Carson just got in a wreck. We know how these dominoes usually fall. Nick King has had a flawless race so far.
These guys still leaning on each other.
They are leaning hard.
Yeah, and you know that was going to happen. And unfortunately, Schmeets was on the outside, had absolutely nowhere to go.
Schmeets got smeared.
Yes, he did.
I mean, points for the inverted rail slide, but still, he did not want to be in that position.
Okay, I'm getting the judges' scores now. Watch this. We're going to watch it one more time. Up, over, slide, 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 in, roof to roof.
That's a 10. And for me.
9.6, 9.7, 9.6. A 10 from the Romanian judge. They liked it. And he stuck the landing too.
Yeah,
car ain't driving worth a crap, and he probably needs to get his driver's suit changed, but he landed it.
Yeah, everyone loved that in the competition except for the driver, Schmeets.
True story.
Well, that just kind of put the chill in the money stop a little bit, didn't it, Tony?
Right.
Everyone able to pretty much do it under caution.
Absolutely. Is Chris Crane, thank you so much. It is Binder, not Binder. I will try to remember that.
It is Bender.
No, it's Binder.
Binder. Thank you.
Binder. Like, what do you do with Jordan? What do you do with Jordan Schmeet's race car after this race? You throw it in the bin.
That's Tony. That's not nice.
The car is trashed.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but
I would love to interview Schmeets at some point in time, maybe next week, and ask him about that wreck, because that had to be absolutely wild.
why wait if he's here now? Matt, I believe you've got Jordan Schmeets with you now.
Jordan Schmeets, Matt Tony up in the booth. You got us, bud.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, I can tell you all the judges gave that acrobatical performance a 10 across the board unanimously. But something tells me you may have a different opinion about that. Walk us through that horrific wreck. How did that all go wrong?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, it's same guys every week getting into it with each other, and I don't know. It's just some beating and banging. Some emotions went a little bit wild. It's just pretty frustrating to me because I'm 13th without a win, just trying to fight for my life and get into the playoffs here. And I did not need a DNF on that. So I know Shane and Mullins or whoever got into it. And then on end of one, it looked like Jeff just rubbed him a little bit and he didn't like it and came down into him. I'm not sure. So but that's the end of my race today.
And you're having a strong run there, too. Very unfortunate, but best of luck in the upcoming races. Thanks for jumping up here in the booth, man. And we'll catch you loose.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, sir. Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looks like up here. Darren Mullins was not happy with Jeff.
You know, and a big short shout out to Schmeets, because as a driver, after things like that happen, it takes a lot to want to do an interview. As you know, sometimes you're just utterly disgusted. I know I would be. So big thanks to him for coming up here into the booth and doing a live interview after that catastrophe out in the racetrack, because you know what, Tony? He was having a great run.
Oh, he was. He had an excellent run going. It would have been a great points night. He finished in stage points both times. You know, he had a solid run going. Now, Kendall Lovren winning the battle off pit road as Nick King took it easy, didn't want to get popped for speeding, you know, and gave himself a little bit of a cushion. It cost him a couple of spots, though. 4 in fuel for everybody. And they should be able to make it from here just about.
Yeah, everyone should be able to go the distance. The scheduled distance, 125 laps. Now working lap 96. However, this at caution pace speed. It's a lot different on the fuel utilization when you're out there holding it wide open, Tony.
Oh, it is. And, you know, when you're running too wide like these guys have been doing all night long, you've got to feather that throttle too, and the acceleration off the corner is what gets you. You know, it's not like Daytona or Talladega where you just put your foot to the floor and then just drag the brake to stay off anybody around you. Here, you actually have to come off the fuel pedal from time to time. Is Levering going to have the button? Bikey Mania to his outside. Gallimore, strong run for him right there. Chris Davis, this is going to be a strong run for the 29 as well. You're only your 2 highest running Toyotas. They're running stem to stern right now. So here we go.
You can see the Yodas up top there trying to get a little draft action going on there. Bikey trying to use the springboard action. Let's see if he can clear the 11 of Gallimore on the bottom. Bikey, Toyota power on the top shelf, but they got help on the bottom as well, as the 8 has found that other Chevrolet and gives Gallimore a shot into the corner. That's going to pull him back even with Bikey.
Chris Davis pushing along Bikey. You've got Warren Young pushing along Gallimore. Nick King playing both halves against the middle as he's got Shane Davis all over his back bumper.
Yeah, Shane Davis is really painting the Picasso on the back of Nick King, or was, past tense. All of this as the laps continue to wind down, and you can really see the intensity picking up. Look at him doing the Indy snake going down the backstretch.
I got a bad feeling about this. They're 3 wide going into 3. The 59 of Holden caught up on the high side. King on the bottom shelf. Chris Davis caught in the middle.
Yeah, Chris Davis does not want to be the meat in the sandwich. Someone just...
That was Davis and King. Yes, he did. God damn it.
Oh, my God. Nick King's car is still in one piece.
Yeah, but we're under caution.
But Nick King's car is still in one piece.
That's the good news. Here comes the bad news. Keep your eye on King and Davis as right there.
It looked to me like the 29 blinked out for a second.
He did.
Okay, thank you for confirming that, Tony.
And when he did, he also made contact with Nick King that spun him off the nose of King. So all you saw was smoke, and then, hey, there's a car sideways down on the apron.
I wasn't sure if I seen that on my end because of my bandwidth issues or if that actually happened, but per your confirmation, Tony, and that's probably a big reason why Nick King's car, looks absolutely 100% intact right now.
I'm not even sure iRacing gave him an X for that. And
I know one thing.
What?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What one thing?
I really think the curse is broken, Tony. It's almost like, what was that movie? Final Destination, when things always happened in a sequence?
Right.
Okay, well, that should have happened to King, and it didn't. King's car still rolls, no Bluetooth suspension. He doesn't have the left front tire sitting in his lap. I think the lucky penny did its job. As Nick King's going to take it down pit road here, he still has time to rebound. That Ford has been FAST fast since the drop of the green flag. Can Nick King complete the comeback?
Well, he's coming down just to make sure
to see him do it.
That team's just going to check that car over to make sure it is 100%.
Good call.
The final 4 tires and fuel, 25 laps to go. He can definitely make it from here. John Binder also coming down pit road, the 78 of Wayne Bowen. Also, Barry Sanders Jr. Randy Mullins, Chris Davis. Davis, the worst of that bunch, he's the one that ended up on the infield. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on the Beast Mode 29 as well. So, of the way things could have gone, that was probably the best scenario for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Well said, Tony. As a result of that, that's going to bring LeBron to the point. Gallimore P2 and Brandon Bikey Hulkamania possibly in the catbird seat in third. Warren Young, Kyle Holden, Shane P. Davis, Stephen Gibson, Chris Spear continues to have a great run there in that 8th place position. Brian Huth and Aaron Matthews round out the top 10.
And, we haven't talked a lot about him tonight, but, Warren Young in the 8th, Jonesville, North Kakalaki, in the Carolina, for those of you who don't speak Yankee. Warren Young, strong run, sitting plus 17 after being the last car to post a time in qualifying.
That's an awesome flex there by the driver of the 8.
Didn't have the qualifying pace, but definitely showing he has race pace.
And that's really what matters at the end of the day, especially at a track like Michigan where drafting and aero is so important.
I think this track, it's more important than it is at Daytona or Talladega.
I agree with you, Tony, 100%.
You really need cars working together to make anything happen, but those cars also have to work with you in the corner as well. Whereas at Daytona and Talladega, you can kind of back off just a little going into the corner, and give the guy some breathing room. But here, you've got to be right there every second of every lap. As we are going to restart with 23 to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Kendall LeBron in the 28. Started 4th, currently runs P1. Brandon Bikey right behind him is your biggest mover at plus 28.
Yeah, that Viper is getting ready to strike. Look at him lurking all over the back of the leader. Little tag team bump draft action here on the start. You'll see his hand come out the window. Hit that throttle, Nick King. There's the bump, and there they go. They timed that beautifully.
Gallimore didn't get going.
28. Yeah, now the 28 owes the one a favor as he checks up that inside line by giving him a shot to the point. But now look at Bikey surge back forward as that spring compressed and then fired Bikey out of the cannon. He's going to clear Gallimore. Now side by side for third, and here's the 8 up top with the head of steam.
Yadi is up top with the head of steam. Gallimore looking to the inside on Vikey, going through 3 and 4. Thinks better of it. LeBron hugging the mustard line, coming through the corner. Everybody still single file. Shane Davis into the wall again. Chris Davis sideways again.
They're shellacking off of each other. Did they save it? Did the Toyotas save it?
It looks like they did.
Oh my God.
We stayed green.
What an incredible save from the Toyotas as they were at a 45-degree angle pointing towards the inside wall. Unreal that they were able to... Tony, you and I see some of the best saves each and every week. We're up here in the booth.
Oh, by far.
I mean, that had hashtag well done written all over it, and
Oh, yeah.
it didn't happen.
Meanwhile, back at the front, another couple of guys that we haven't talked a lot about tonight. The 31, that tide ride of Ed Boyles Jr., currently sitting in 8th. He's plus 19. Ryan Huff, the 93, right in front of him. He's plus 17 in 7th. And Chad Sullivan, who junked the car in the first melee, he's got that thing pointed back in the right direction as he's battling with Paul Whitley right now. Whitley, your highest running of the Ram team.
Yeah,
he's
you're
got
right,
a top
Tony.
10. Chad Sullivan back into the top 10.
Yeah, bad Chad just breaks back into the top 10. Great recovery for Chad Sullivan, as you mentioned. Found trouble early, but has things going in the right direction here late. This all just, look at this battle just outside the top 10. There's Barry Sanders. He's trying to recover as well. He's got his teammate, the 5, Aaron Matthews, on the top shelf, but he continues to work the bottom of the racetrack.
Matthews
Nick
was
King
another
in
one
the
that got
4.
jumped earlier.
Yeah, you're right. Nick King did get jumped. Or,
No,
I'm sorry,
Matthews.
Matthews got jumped earlier. Nick King right behind Matthews as he's trying to rebound and recover. All of this going as we're inside 20 laps to go here from the Irish Hills of Michigan.
19 to be exact, to make that 18 and a half left. If you really want to get technical. As Whitley and Davis Boyles and Whitley going after each other. Chris Davis continues to have connection issues.
Yeah, he's got the
Matt,
case of the blink.
if you could drop down and just let race control know.
10-4, I'm on it.
Meanwhile, at the front, we're single filed out. As Davis has had pace, it's just his connection issue is garbage. And look who's flirting with another top 10 is Nick King working the inside of Chad Sullivan. That's for 11th. Now he's going to set his sights on Whitley on the top shelf. Who is the Ford of Sullivan going to go with? Looks like nobody. There's now Whitley and King both working on... I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. King and Whitley leaning on each other for the final spot in the top 10.
King is coming, though. He is driving the tires off of that number 4 Ford Mustang as he goes toe-to-toe with the tide ride right now in that 31 of Ed Broyles Jr.
Freshest set of tires in the top 10, though it's only for 7 laps. 5 of those were caution laps. Still.
Well, you know what they say, Tony? If you don't use it, you lose it. Nick King needs to use every bit of those Dr. Feelgoods up right now.
He absolutely does, but he's also got to race smart. He's got a top 10. And he won a stage, so that's bonus points there. He also finished in the top 5 of stage 1. Oh! Nick, you got to drive it hard. Not that hard, though, buddy. Oh, my Lanta.
Barry Sanders is going to pick him up, help him out there, get him back up to speed.
I gotta get
Actually
my heart
gives
out of
him
my
one
throat.
shot into the corner as he's drifting the bottom.
I gotta get my heart out of my throat because Nick King, I think, just gave me a heart attack.
Oh, me too.
The Cardiac
I just-
Kid, that's his new nickname.
I just split my britches.
We've got a slugfest going on for the podium now. Gallimore and Davis going after each other. Actually, Gallimore, Davis, and Davis.
Yeah, Gallimore, Davis, and Davis. And look where Hulkamania is knocking on the back door of LeBron. Bikey looking to strike, sink his teeth into the back of that 28 when the time is right. Well, the time is almost now as we're now working lap 112. Look at Shane P. Davis continuing to charge towards the front as he's door-to-door with Gallimore, who's done a great job in trenching himself in the top 5.
Kendall Everin, a drag racer out of Houma, Louisiana. As we're on board with him looking back at Brandon Bikey. And you can see the hornet's nest back there.
I'm not sure the hornet's nest does it any justice. It's a
Wolfpack.
lot more chaotic than that.
Okay, a rabid wolf pack.
There you go.
Oh,
That's-
Nick King just ate the wall. Nick, you gotta be careful, buddy. I know I'm not supposed to play favorites, but, you know, hearing the story about Nick and the penny, I mean, it's gotta...
How could you not, right?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
with
gotta
you, Tony.
tug at your heartstrings. Either that or you're a heartless prick.
I mean, he's a good dude. You just want to see him have a strong run and a finish for all the performance and
The first time in 6 weeks.
bingo.
Currently sitting
But
in 9th. That's the good news. As he's going after Chris Spear for 8th now. 11 to go. It's right in front of him, Warren Young. That's Shane Davis, Ryan Huff, and Warren Young all going after each other.
LeBron continues to lead. Here comes maybe at the 29 peeking inside of Bikey. That's Chris Davis. Decides to slide up in front of Gallimore, cover the spot. Here comes Shane Davis working on the inside of Gallimore, though. Remember, Shane P. Davis, I believe, led at one point in time during this race.
He was your pole sitter.
Thank you, Tony. I think I had caught part of that as I was trying to figure out a way to get into this to help you.
Right. Which I do appreciate, Matt. I really do. Thank you so much.
Hey, that's what we do, Tony. We stick together, bud.
We are the A-team. I can name you who the A-team are, folks. And it's not just me and Matt. But there's... Oh, contact between LeBron and Bikey. And
The
Bikey
Viper
just
gets
bounced.
point. Yeah, Bikey bounced, but it may work out good for him because he just had a heck of some help from Paul Gallimore. Is that going to clear Bikey in front of the 28? He just about did. Oh, he almost touched again, side-by-side drag race. Gallimore says, come on, buddy, I got you. Shake and bake action. Let's go. Bikey to the lead going into the 3-4 complex for the first time today.
I mean, if you take a look, Gallimore and Bikey both... Gallimore and Leveren... No, Bikey. I had it right the first time.
Oh,
Bikey. Both running for beast mode here.
what a block by Bikey on the 28.
Oh, he had to. He had absolutely
He
no
didn't have a
choice
choice.
there. Yeah, Bikey and Gallimore both
Gotta
running for beast mode with Shane Davis and Chris Davis. So you
Is
take a look at your
Shane-
top 5, 4 of them run for beast mode.
Yeah, they're all in beast mode because the 78 is Shane Davis, and I believe Gallimore had a meeting of the minds there. Shane just ricocheted off the 11. Now look at Shane Davis. Goes
Three
to
wide.
the top shelf. 3 wide. What could go wrong here? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely everything. As we're 7 to go here at Michigan.
Still 3 wide.
Oh, that was some dirty pool. As Levering throws the block on Young, that's going to check Young up, and he's going to lose his spot to Ryan Huff now.
Yeah, Levering, lucky that car didn't get spun off the nose of the 8.
And I think this is only like his second or third start for Kendall. And he's already writing his book of how to win friends and influence people.
Yeah, well, Kendall almost lit Gillimore there. As now Gillimore and Bikey leaning on each other as Shane P. Davis takes it back to the house. Shane Davis back to the lead. Here comes Gallimore charging on the bottom.
And look who's coming up through the middle.
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. It's Ryan Huff in the 93.
No, that was Nick King who was in the middle. And Chris
Oh,
Davis
now he's
blinking
in my
again.
frame. Now I see the 4. Thank you.
And here comes the boss man, Barry Sanders. The Sandman is coming.
Sandman and they can't
Into the
get
wall.
sideways. Barry Sanders tank slaps the wall. But it almost appears if Sanders and King have come through the field together.
Yeah, pretty much. Ever since that restart, they've been running right there. Now, the 31 Ed Boyles just got by Sanders. Sanders now runs door-to-door with Spear. Drops back just a little bit. As Gallimore and Levering and Davis going after each other for third.
Yeah, here comes Huff going off on the 1 of Brandon Bikey. He wants that position bad. But here comes Nick King, lucky money, as he's found his way back to this lead pack late in the race.
4 to go, coming to 3 to go.
Only 3 laps to go.
3 laps at the stripe. Davis, Gallimore, Levering, and Huff make that Bikey now. As Huff and Bikey going door to door.
Door to door, they're both looking for more. Doing a great job keeping it off each other there. Huff got loose on the bottom. That's going to kill the momentum. That's going to give Nick King an opportunity to steal that position, and he does, as Nick King's going to bomb it going into 3 and 4.
Working the inside of Young right now. Young hanging tough on the top shelf. Now, this place was progressively banked before progressive banking was cool. And who's the Toyota going to go with? The Ford or the Chevy? He's going with the Chevy, hanging King out to dry. And how about this battle at the front? Shane and Chris Davis, both for beast mode, running stem to stern.
Yeah, Shane in the Chevrolet, Davis in the Toyota.
Popsicle sticks are in the air. We're 2 laps to go. Davis can see the white flag in the starter's hands as they come off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. Can they get there? Yes, they can. We are racing back to checkers.
We're racing back to checkers, and the 29 throws it down low. This is for all the marbles right here. He's going to send it in on Davis. He's going to slide it on the bottom. He's going to pull the potential slide job here, but Shane fights back hard on the top, but Davis able to clear. But Davis is going to be able to rebound. Here he comes back on the bottom. They're going to have one more time through the 3 and 4 complex. Tony Trapasso to settle this one out. As they come through it one more time for the final time, Shane P. Davis slides up on the 29 out of 4. Coming to the start-finish line, who is it going to be? Davis edges out. Davis edges out the other Davis for the win at Michigan.
Shane by half a car over Chris. Paul Gallimore rounding out your podium. Kendall Levering, Brandon Bikey, Ryan Huff, Warren Young, and how about Nick King?
Bravo.
8th place finish with the Lucky Penny. Led a ton of laps here.
Now, iRacing actually has King being shown in 7th right now, but regardless, what a drive by Nick King. Won a stage, led a lot of laps, and the curse didn't bite him today. And I think that Lucky Penny, as Tony alluded to at the beginning of the broadcast, was all part of that secret sauce to make that happen.
And you know what? We are actually going to reach out now to the man with the Lucky Penny. Nick King, Tony, and Matt up in the booth. You got a copy on us, sir?
Yeah, I got you, sir.
Lucky Penny on the dash. The curse is broken. Congratulations on the top 10.
Appreciate it.
Talk us through just how terrifying that was with Chris Davis there to bring out the last caution.
I'm going back to review it. We came off the corner. All of a sudden I felt him. I don't know if he got loose or what happened, but all of a sudden he got me in the side. And then we were going down the front stretch. Like I said, I haven't reviewed it or anything, so I'm going back to watch it. I don't know if I came up, he came down, or what ended up happening on that one, but obviously a little frustrated because I felt like I had the car to win, especially having to fight all the way back through the field to grab a top 10 out of that. So,
Well, again, Nick, it looks like the curse is broken. Back where you deserve to be in the top 10. Congratulations on that one. Who helps you get it done on the 4?
everybody over at Warrior Racing, my wife, my mom, they support everything that I do. Kenny for building just phenomenal setups. I don't run very often, but whenever I do, usually if I can get some seat time, I usually feel pretty good. And Kenny says he makes them real controllable. So I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but I think that's about it.
Nick, congratulations. Best of luck to you in the next 2 weeks on the road courses.
Appreciate it, sir.
And Matt, I believe you've got the man of the hour with you now, our race winner, Mr. Shane Davis.
What's going on, guys?
And we may have lost Matt. Shane, congratulations on the win. I would dare say it's been a long time coming, as we haven't had a chance to talk to you over the last few weeks. But talk about the curse being broken. Points leader, showing why you're the points leader with that strong move at the finish. Talk us through that last lap with Chris door to door. How much fun was that?
That was a lot of fun. It's always fun to get in a race with your brother, and especially to make a last-minute move on him for the win. We've both been improving over the years, and we started at the exact same time. So just a blast. I kind of wanted to be in second place, to be honest with you, because the draft has so much of a effect on it. But once he cleared me through one, I really was impressed by his driving in order to do that and not run up into me. And I knew I was going to have to cross him over and try to stick it on the bottom and pray it stuck.
Well, Shane, congratulations on another victory on the season. Just the road courses and Daytona left in the regular season. Talk us through your thoughts going into Indy next week.
Going into Indy, I'm just praying to have a solid finish. I'm not huge on road courses yet because I switch pedals throughout the week on my road and my home rig. So I'm kind of inconsistent at the road courses right now. Just trying to maintain solid finishes with some stage points and hopefully wrap up this regular season chase.
Rickman Tech Force feedbacks?
I run a Moza R5. It's just my pedals are different. I run a V3s when I'm on the road. I actually race out of a hotel on my phone internet, so that's why I'm kind of blinking sometimes. And then when I go home, I race on Roosevelt. So
man, you're a man
difference.
after my own heart. I used to do that when I was a truck driver.
Yes, sir.
All right, Shane, who helps you get it done on the 79?
I got to thank Beast Mode Performance, new team we just kind of put together the last couple of weeks. TWRS puts out some good sets from Kenny Coppola. Unfortunately, he had a downshift tonight. Otherwise, I think he would have been the man to beat. Got to thank all my teammates: Brandon, Paul, Chris, Wayne, Jordan, Jeff Carson. All of them ran solid tonight. Got caught up in a couple bad incidents, but overall, good team good team day. And thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
Shane Davis, congratulations. We'll see you next week at Indy.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. And joining Matt, are you back with us?
I am back in the I'm back in the booth, still trying to get back in the session, Tony.
Well, we've got Chris Davis with us now. Chris, congratulations on a podium. Strong run all night long. Talk us through that last lap.
It was crazy. I knew if I could clear him getting out of 2, that I'd have a really good shot. Unfortunately, he got a great run off that high side and was able to get back underneath me, and I overdrove 3. I should have kept it down a little bit more and closer to him, and probably could have come out side by side, but I also didn't want to get too close and end up wrecking us both. That might not be so good at the family dinners, so wanted to play it a little safe.
Now, who's the older brother?
I am.
Yeah, that would have been a real interesting breakfast conversation in the morning. But, Chris,
Yeah.
still strong run all night long. Talk us through that issue that you had with Nick King earlier.
Yeah, we were just 3 wide, and it, no one's real fault. It's hard to see. The spotters aren't calling out 3 wide either, so you never know if the guy's just trying to side draft you or what's going on. From the sounds of it, it sounded like he just cut it a little too close. Nothing against him. Nick and I race really well together, so nothing intentional. Just I didn't know if I was going to be able to get back up to the front after that. I knew I had a really strong car, good on the long runs, but there's so many great guys in this league that you just never know if you're going to get back up there.
Well, that Toyota definitely showed its pace here tonight. Now, we do have the plate track at Daytona where the Toyotas have been strong all season on the plate tracks. But you've got to survive the 2 road courses over the next couple of weeks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have a win on the season yet, do you?
I have 1.
Okay, so you're already in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the good news is you're not going to be fighting for your playoff career. But talk us through. We go to Indy next week. What are your thoughts going into the Brickyard?
Man, I don't really even know. I'm not very good at road courses. I normally just try to ride in the back and keep the car in one piece, and that normally doesn't end up happening. So I may have to get Kenny to show me a few tips here over the week and get a lot better. But hopefully just come out with top 10, have a solid day, and keep building momentum for the chase.
I can give you the tips right now. Tip 1, get a 5th of Jack Daniels. Tip 2, use a gamepad.
I think your tips are way better than what Kenny could give me. So
well, that's what he did. Half in the bag with a gamepad and 1. But Chris, who helps you get it done on the 29?
Team Watchman setups, Kenny Coppola, all the BMP guys. Have to give a special thanks to them. They all help. We all work great together. Paul cut me a break there coming into 2 laps to go anyway and let me back in line. So got to give a thanks to all the BMP guys and my wife and daughter for letting me do it. And also got to give a shout out to Barry. He made me this awesome paint scheme. So big thanks to him.
Chris Davis, congratulations on the podium. We'll see you next week in Indy.
Appreciate it, guys.
And joining us now, the man who rounded out the sweep for BMP, Paul Gallimore. New team, new attitude, podium finish. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tony. Matt, y'all doing all right? That was a great race y'all just saw there, man. If you couldn't get your blood boiling with that, then it ain't going to work.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That was a fun race.
Week in and week out, you guys in the Moonshiners Racing League put on amazing shows, and it's hard to not be entertained.
That's a great compliment coming from you guys.
One of the highlights of, I know, my week, and I believe Matt can back me up on that one, definitely the highlight of the week. Best league that we could ask to broadcast on a Wednesday night. You guys consistently put on amazing action. But, Paul, you had to climb your way up through the top 10, coming home +8. not too shabby, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun race. Stages, really our tires, could it just had a good long run, and then I just started just racing the thing, just sending it, and because everybody else kind of was. There's a lot of great talented drivers in this league and everything. So I'd, first off give a hats off to everybody for racing hard and whatnot. And it was just a overall great day for Beast Mode Performance here and everything. And it just tickled with the sweep there. Brandon coming in 5th, and the other guys that were all up there in the mix. I mean, at one point we had so many of us up there, and we were just all in the mix. And unfortunately, some of them got taken out by some bent fenders and hurt feelings. But it's just it's this part of racing. But
yeah, at one point you guys had 6 of the top 10.
Oh, that's nice. We'll take that all day long. Yes, absolutely.
But Paul, we got to survive the road courses over the next couple of weeks as we go to Indy and then Watkins Glen. What are your thoughts going into the Brickyard next week?
Brickyard, I probably won't be there. I'm kind of protest that road course. I want to run the oval there. I love the oval. I wish we were running the oval. It has more meaning to me anyway. Probably see you guys at Watkins Glen, however. I enjoy that road course. So probably boycott next week on that. But that's just my personal feelings about it. But
how can you not love Armco with your racing?
I'm not a fan of the road course there. I love Indy Oval.
No. I mean at Watkins Glen. You got to love the Armcos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Watkins Glen's just. I mean, that's one of the first ones. One of the road courses I got acclimated with when I first started doing iRacing, because of course I was familiar with it, and I enjoyed that. So I mean, I'm trash at Coda, so I know Indy road course is kind of flat like that. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll just stay away from that because I'll just be in the way. Well,
I mean, at least get the show up points for it.
Well, I'm not in the point. I started kind of late in the league and all, so I'm not really in the point hunt. So I'm just here hunting, helping teammates and hopefully hunting some flags here come soon. So that's the key.
Fair enough. But Paul, who helps you get it done on the 11?
Of course, all the guys at Beast Mode Performance. Kenny, Shane, Brandon, Chris. I mean, that was a heck of a battle there between all of us there at the end. I know you probably touched on it with Chris and Shane. And just watching Shane and Chris go at it there, man, that put a huge smile on my face. I was like, go get them, man.
I didn't realize they were brothers. I figured there was a relation there, but I wasn't quite sure. And to hear Shane go, yeah, that would have been an interesting conversation at the breakfast table. And, oh, God.
Yeah, it was so fun watching back there for 3rd place. But I mean, even from 3rd on back, Kendall had a great race. He ran really hard and tough up there at the front too. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for everybody. Some of our guys finished towards the back there due to incidents and whatnot. But I appreciate those guys. Like I said, I want to thank Beast Mode Performance, Sim Sport Gadget. They make the best 3D printed sim racing accessories. So look them up online. And everything. So that's pretty much it. Of course, I'd like to thank my family and everybody who's watching, and you guys for doing a great job every Wednesday. So,
well, Paul Gallimore, we appreciate that. Good luck to you at the Glen and at Daytona. And
I appreciate it. I also want to thank Dark Tempest Motorsports as well. I don't want to forget about Alonso and those guys over there. So
there you go.
Again, thank you.
All right, Paul Gallimore, congratulations. We'll see you in 2 weeks at the Glen.
Thank you, sir.
And that officially puts another one in the books for us. Take a quick look at our finishing order in the Reaper Apparel Company 250. Shane Davis coming home with the big trophy. Chris Davis, older brother, coming home second to his little brother. Paul Gallimore rounding out the sweep of Beast Mode Performance for the podium. Kendall Levern breaking up the monotony there as he comes home in 4th. Brandon Bikey, another one of BMP drivers, rounding out your top 5 and your biggest mover at plus 26. Who says you can't pass here at Michigan? Warren Young, Nick King coming home in 7th, plus 22. Strong run for King. I think the curse is finally broken on the 4. Ryan Huff, Randy Mullins, good finish for him. He needed that. Chris Spear, he needed that as well, coming home in 10th. Ed Boyles, Kyle Holden, Barry Sanders, Aaron Matthews, John Bender, strong finish for him, coming home in 15th, plus 17 for the Sundrop 33. Bad Chad Sullivan rebounding after getting junked early, coming home in 16th. Steve Gibson in 17th. Paul Whitley, Wayne Bowen, and David Balisari rounding out your top 20. with Balasari getting the final spot on the lead lap. We go to Derek Jacobs, who was 3 laps down, Jeff Carson in 22nd, Jamison Middlemiss, Tim Wortman, Jaron Mullins in 25th, Jeff Taylor, Jordan Schmeet, Bobby Justice, Hunter Carmichael, Daryl Klotz, Nick Atwood, Darren Mills, Kenny Capola, and Justin Belmonte rounding out your field of starters. That is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media, as we are bringing you multiple races every night of the week now. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for the Racers Elite Cup Series. It'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern Time start on that one. He's Matt Metler. I'm Tony Chapasso. Thank you so much for making this part of your Wednesday evening. And as you walk down the road of life this week, folks, until we get a chance to meet again, do me a huge favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night and God bless.